Are we live?
I think
Are
we
we
might
on?
be live.
Are we
Yes,
actually live?
let's do it.
All
Let's
right,
do
let's
it.
do
I'm
it.
so excited.
Hey, it's Wednesday. This is weird. Why is it Wednesday?
I don't know. It feels like it should be the weekend now because
It
I'm
does.
already ready to go to Gen Con.
That's right. So our
I'm so
first
excited.
announcement, yeah. So our first announcement is that since we're doing this Renegade Con special edition on a Wednesday, it is now officially Friday. This is your Friday now, so that you all have the weekend starting tomorrow. If your boss asks, just tell them that Renegade said so. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I don't know if that counts for my team, so just keep working.
Oh no. Renegade people have to work. But everybody else at home, it's Renegade Friday, so you don't have to work tomorrow. It's
Nice.
Saturday. Yeah, enjoy your weekend. Let's talk about games, and then go do fun things.
That's
All
a
right,
pretty good present for everybody.
that is. It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's kind of cool that I have the power to do that. I mean, it's kind of neat. I mean, let me know how it goes. Let us know how it goes on Discord and Facebook. If you have any problems, we'll write you a doctor's note or something like that.
It go well. Oh my
That's right.
goodness.
Yeah.
So just watching that intro, I'm reminded of all the fun that we had at Gen Con last year. It just gets me super pumped to think about going again and seeing all of our fans and getting to set up this fun booth. But a big part of Gen Con is definitely giving everybody the chance to see stuff early that isn't going to be out on shelves for a long time. So that's kind of part of what we're doing today, right?
That's true. That is a big theme of today. We're going to be announcing some things. We'll recap a few things, here and there that we did announce a month ago, I guess. It's about 4 weeks. But we're going to show you some brand new things. But one thing that they have in common is that now, if you are going to Gen Con and you just want to pick them up at Gen Con, some of these things will premiere at Gen Con. You can just pick them up there. And the cool thing is you don't have to pay shipping. We pay the shipping, right? Like we just get it all there to Gen Con in bulk. And you also avoid all the lines, like at our booth. If you've been into our booth in Gen Cons in years past, sometimes it gets pretty crazy with lines going around the booth in the mornings. And you can pick them up on Wednesday night in our special event room. So if you're in town early, you can just get it out of the way and pick your stuff up and have a low stress start to your Gen Con.
It's a big party. That way you just get to jump right in. And so if you're interested in doing that and you want to make sure that you pick up all your stuff at Gen Con, then you can go to our website. Jordan, who is helping us out on the back end in the chat today, is going to post the code and the link to be able to go and order any of the stuff that you see us talking about today for pickup at Gen Con. But if you're not planning on Gen Con, we're still really happy you're here. And all this stuff is going to be available very soon, actually, right around that Gen Con timeframe. So if you're celebrating Gen Con at home, you can still pre-order everything we're talking about today, all these new games, and you'll get it pretty soon around that same time frame.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some bonus stuff. We're going to maybe have some surprises, like some PDF early releases will be coming much sooner than a book. So that way you guys can get started in game with those. But I don't know. Are we ready to jump in? We're going to start with World of Darkness first, right? Or we have something else?
One other thing, we also have several giveaways. So if you want something even earlier than the pre-order pickup at Gen Con, we have several giveaways where we are going to airship in early copies of things and send those out to lucky winners. And all you're going to have to do to participate in that is just post in chat. You're going to have to be fast so that our moderators can pick people who type really quickly when we ask you questions. So make sure you're on the ball and listening the whole way through, because we have several different giveaways. Should be fun.
That's true.
But yeah,
right.
Let's jump in.
Right. Oh, we also forgot to mention that this is a mini little just one-off, right? Like we'll be here for about an hour, but then in June we're going to come back with a full-fledged Renegade Con again in June, which will probably tell us some more things about things coming in the second half of the year. So this isn't everything coming out for this year. We're going to kind of go right up to like early August and then stop, because that's enough.
Mini Renegade Con.
Mini me. It's my mini me. All right.
All right. I think we're finally ready.
Okay,
Maybe.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm ready.
World of Darkness. Let's start there, because that was a really big fun thing we did at Gen Con last year. We had a whole World of Darkness room. We had Hunter the Reckoning as one of our big premieres at the show. And we have several fun things for Vampire Hunter and other things coming out at that show this year. So first thing we have on our list is actually something we already talked about at the last Renegade Con. So anything that we talked about last time, make sure if you want a few more details about it, you go back to that last stream and it'll be on our YouTube channel to get all the fine details, because we have a long list of stuff. So we're not going to go too deep into the stuff that we talked about last time. So yeah.
All right.
So the first one is Blood Sigil's source book. So this will be available for pickup at Gen Con. It is coming out in August for everybody, all retail and everything. And we, just as a little super quick preview, it's a look at the underground blood magic scene. So again, go check on the details from the last Renegade Con. Yep. And I think we might even have a little sneak preview of the cover art for this one.
Yeah.
That sounds true.
For sure. Yeah, let's show that.
Awesome. Cool.
And then, right. And then in February, we did give more detail on this. And there was a deep dive during the kind of World of Darkness deep dive panel. So if you want to go back and watch that again, we're not going to go through all that again for you here today. But this is coming very shortly, and you'll be able to pre-order it for delivery in August, and also Gen Con pickup. So we just wanted to kind of remind you of that. So yeah, that cover is amazing.
Yeah, Mark Kelly is incredible. I love his artwork. Very happy to see that on there. Awesome. Next one is a reprint. Again, we did talk about this last time a little bit, but Chicago by Night is coming back in print. This has been a very popular book, and I'm really happy to see that people will be able to get it a little bit more easily in the future. There won't be any gaps. It is available now as well, the older version of it, and the new version will be almost exactly the same. No major changes.
Right. Yep. So that one's just a reprint coming up, has some little tweaks to it, but we just want to make you aware of it, because it may have been hard to find depending on what part of the world you're in. Definitely. All right. Okay. Chicago by Night. Let's talk about something new now.
Yeah, first new stuff. I'm really excited about this. So this is the Discipline and Blood Magic cards. So what I really like about this is that it's a whole pack of these tarot-sized cards. There's actually 212 of them, and they just make it a lot easier to sit at the table and play the game without fiddling through books, without looking for what your disciplines actually do. You've just got that deck right in front of you. So if you've set up your character, you know which disciplines you're going to need. You can pull out those exact cards, and they're just all ready to go. It also pulls disciplines from several different books, so you won't have to be looking through different books. It's got everything from the player's guide, which is coming out later this year, and then also from the main core book. So any discipline from either of those two books, all in one nice place. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, the big hits there are everything that was in the core book, and then all the new stuff that's in the player's guide will be in these decks. They're totally new. If you remember the old discipline decks, we scrapped those and started from scratch, all new card frames, new typeset. They're on tarot size cards. They'll come in a really nice box. So that's kind of just like a little sneak peek that we're doing those, and they're coming soon. But I believe we're bringing in early copies for these too, right? They will be available at early copies at Gen Con.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So these will be there. These are coming out a little bit later, actually, not until October. So these are super early release at Gen Con, or you can look for them at wherever you normally find your Vampire the Masquerade games in October. So that's a nice early pickup for that one.
This is one of those things that we're probably flying. The reason why we're going to have like an amount of these at Gen Con early is because we'll airship them in, which is really expensive, but we want to get them out there so people can see them, especially because we know lots of people go to Gen Con. So there might be a limit of these. Like you can pre-order them on the website, but at some point we'll probably have to cap the orders because we have to know how many that we have to put on a plane. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes people don't realize that, and then they see that we shut them down, and then they're sad. So we don't want you to be sad, especially on this long weekend that we gave you. You shouldn't be sad when you've got the whole weekend ahead of you and all this time off. I mean, you should be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, on that note, we actually need everybody to pre-order anything that you want to pick up at Gen Con by July 7th. So sort of mark that date in your calendar so that way we can pack everything up, make sure it gets there. But even earlier than that, we might run out of stuff. We're only going to save so many of these at our factory where they're made before air shipping them over. So if we run out of all the ones that we saved, all the rest of them are going to be on a boat and people will have to wait a little bit longer. So please, please, please make sure you order this stuff early, like now would be great. All right. So
helps us. All right, what's next?
It does help. So that's the Discipline and Blood Magic cards. The next thing is also another brand new thing. So we are making something that I think most gamers will really appreciate because I'm a scientist. I have really clear scientific evidence that if you don't treat your dice very well, they roll badly. Does that sort of match the experience you've had, Scott?
It does, though I have had some success by taking poor rolling dice and punishing them. And then they come back and they try harder as well. So, I mean, I think it just depends on, the die, right? Like, I mean,
we can argue about learning theory for quite some time here, but either way, I think we all probably like to put our dice in very nice, fancy dice bags. So we have made some of those for some of our games, but not all of them. So we want to catch up a little bit, and we have a very premium, nice, soft, just velvety, wonderful place to put your dice for vampire dice, which are already special dice. They like to be treated a little bit better than normal. So there you go. That's our reveal for this one. But then we also made a hunter bag, which we'll talk about in our hunter section. So no matter which type of game you play, we've got pretty bags for you. Catches us up on those. Very nice. Yeah, and those are actually coming out in July, but if you want to pick them up at Gen Con, again, you won't pay shipping if you do it that way. So you can get them a little bit earlier at your friendly local game store in July, or you can hold off a little bit and come and pick them up at our pickup area at Gen Con.
Yeah.
So you got some options.
It's fun reading chat. People are talking about dice karma and, being mean to your dice at your peril. I don't know. I've been known to balance the dice on the edge of the trash can just to tell them, like, shape up, or that may be your future. All right.
Quite tough. Those poor dice. I like to be nice to dice. Just saying. Wow. All right. So speaking of actually sitting down at the table and playing your game, we have a whole program for our lovers of running games. So anybody who wants to be a storyteller or a GM, we have this program that we announced at our last Renegade Con called Play Renegade. And we are getting very close to actually launching that, getting everything in action. Right now, you can sign up for it if you want to run games in local places. So that would be friendly local game stores or libraries or anywhere else, even online. If you want to stream games publicly, you can be part of this program. And how it works is you sign up, you get approved, you tell us when and where you're going to be playing your game, and then we provide you with some really cool materials for you to be able to do that. And one of the first things that we'll be giving away for those storytellers and GMs is this this new story for Vampire, and it's called The Last Dance at Reynolds. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that story?
Sure. So it's about a bunch of neonates, so newly without their mentor. They're anxiously awaiting the arrival of the powerful guest who they must entertain to survive the night. That's the premise. So you can run that at events and hobby shops and conventions around the world by just signing up for the program. And storytellers, you'll get this totally for free, and it'll be available later this month. So they're just putting on the final polishing touches on it and getting it ready to release to you all.
Our team has been working really hard on these. I'm excited to see them out in the world. And if you are not somebody who wants to run games in a public space, or you have your own home games, that's totally fine. These are going to be available later this year for a small fee. But if you want to get them for free, our bonus, and as a thank you for all the people who work hard running these games at friendly local game stores and conventions and all those great places, is that you get this for free and early. So it's a little bit of a bonus.
Yeah.
It's all about early releases today.
Okay. The only other thing I want to mention, we don't really have it on our list, but we did talk about it last time, is the player's guide. So the player's guide is up now, and it's available for pre-order. And the book is so I just went through the book yesterday. It's all laid out. It's going to the printer like any day. I think there was just a few little tweaks. Has to go through like, final approval stage and everything. But it looks really nice. And yeah, it's done. It's done. It's nice. It's good.
It is. It's finished.
And that's releasing in June, I believe, right?
It's releasing in June, but we could tell people about a little extra special thing they're getting on the 27th of this month, or at least later this month.
Yeah, we can tell them that. So we're going to release the player's guide early at the end of this month on March 27th is the date. It could change a little bit, like depending on, we only want to release it when it's all done and polished. But yeah, you're going to get it like 2 months early, I guess, 2.5 months early. For people that pre-ordered the book. So if you pre-order the hardcover from us, we're going to release the PDF early so you can start playing it and get that PDF, and it'll just automatically download into your Renegade account. So there you go.
Yeah. Order the physical book, get the PDF for free. Ta-da!
Yeah.
And it just shows up in your cart. You don't even have to do anything fancy. It'll just be there, which is great.
Yeah. Yep. So somebody just asked in chat, when will it be going out? It'll be going out the end of the month. So there you go. All right, let's talk about Hunter.
Awesome.
Hunter the Reckoning.
Yeah. Hunter is really neat because you get to play as kind of the good guys a little bit. You're out there hunting monsters. So I'm excited for this 4-part adventure series that we have coming out called Lines Drawn in Blood. We did talk about that more in depth during the last Renegade Con, but this one will be, again, available for pickup at Gen Con. So it's those 4 pre-written stories. They combine all together to be one big chronicle if you want to play them that way, or you can just use them as inspiration. There's lots of good content in there, even for players. You can find ideas for your character, get some backstory, just be inspired by the setting. So I think that's really helpful too.
Right. But then the big news for Lines Drawn in Blood is, if for pre-order people, we're gonna release it next Wednesday on March 8th in PDF. So you'll get the PDF early on March 8th, and then you'll get the book when it releases in June-ish. And you can also order it for Gen Con pickup if you want to save on some shipping and just pick it up at Gen Con if you're not in a huge rush. So there you go. March 8th, PDF people for free with pre-order. So good.
So many presents. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's really fun. You get that PDF early.
Yeah,
and then also
there's more. There's more.
We're doing the exact same thing with the Storyteller's toolkit and screen for hunters as well. So if you want that toolkit, which is a PDF filled with great content specifically for storytellers, that will also be available as a free PDF for anyone who pre-orders the Storyteller's toolkit and screen. And you're going to be getting that on March 8th as well. So next week, just 1 week from now. It's like you get Friday on a Wednesday 2 weeks in a row.
That's right. Friday on a Wednesday. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's the other thing. If you do pre-order it and get the PDF on the 8th, that then becomes your Friday and you have another long weekend. It's built into the PDFs. It's a weird new thing. It's a new Adobe feature, but yeah, it's kind of cool. It was nice of them.
Oh, Adobe's gonna make so much money from that. That's a great feature. It's a hack. All right. So the Storyteller's screen and toolkit are coming out in June, and again, you can pick those up at Gen Con. And we have something else that's actually coming out very soon, actually in just about a month here. So we have the premium token pack. The premium pack. Hunter.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, you can see right there in the middle of the screen, really nice kind of coin-sized tokens. So those, unfortunately, don't work with a PDF release because they're tokens. You need them physically on the table. But they are releasing in April, so they are only a month away. So you'll be able to pick those up in stores or get them off our website or wherever you buy your stuff.
Very neat. All right, and then we already mentioned it briefly, but the Hunter dice bag I assume you would like to be nice to your hunter dice as well. We don't want to exclude the hunter dice from the good treatment, so they will have a nice fancy premium bag as well. I love that you can actually fit your whole hand into the dice bag. They're not just these little tiny things you have to stick your fingers in. It's your whole hand. Love these. They're really nice.
They're good size.
Yep. Yeah. So that's coming out in July. Also available for pickup at Gen Con. Cool. And then we have another special theme for our Hunters fans. So we already mentioned the Play Renegade program. So if you are interested in running a Chronicle in a public place for Hunter, we also have a special Chronicle coming out for you as well. So this one, we are a little bit farther out on it. It's not quite ready to show off too much, but we're going to be doing previews of this story very soon. And that is going to be released in late March. So we did not forget about our Hunters fans for that program. Awesome. And
I agree.
We do get a preview.
Making snide remarks in chat, so it's all good. Okay. All right.
That might be the case. So the title has not yet been announced, but that is the beautiful cover art for that one.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Yep. So
very
that's
nice.
Coming too. All right. All right. Hunter.
Next.
Okay. So yes.
Any other Hunter stuff?
No other Hunter stuff. No, not now.
Not yet. Okay. We do have some things coming out later, but we'll talk about them. Make sure you come back to our June Renegade Con.
Right.
It'll be fun. All right, cool.
Oh, you got a cat visitor.
Cat.
All right. So also we want to make sure that we covered. We know people are waiting for Werewolf. We're waiting for Werewolf as well. Don't worry. It's all good. But we don't have anything to show you today. I know. Wah, wah. People are going to be sad. But it's actually a good thing. The book is pretty much done. Paradox is finishing it up as we speak. Actually, right now, as I speak, they're working on it right now. I have read the book. It's good. It was fun. I downloaded the file. It was still raw. They're finishing up everything now. They're putting all the final touches on it and the polish. We will probably do something special once the files are good and ready to go to reveal for you. Like, we can't even tell you, like, oh, on this date we'll do a thing and we'll do a reveal and give you a preview and all that stuff. But trust me, us and Paradox want to show you how amazing this book is going to be, and we want you get you playing Werewolf as quickly as possible. We do have plans for Werewolf at Gen Con. Don't worry, we touched on that last month. Like, we've already told people that you're going to be able to play Werewolf at Gen Con. So there's going to be Gen Con events in the system when all the events open up in May. So you'll be able to play it there. Just stay tuned a little longer. When we are finally able to show you how amazing Werewolf the Apocalypse is, it'll be worth the wait. So there you go. You cannot rush perfection. You need to let them finish it up.
They're really close, though. It won't be long.
They are. It's good. So I've read it. Kevin's read it. Like, a bunch of people on the team have gone through it and stuff. And yeah, it's good. All right.
And we're working on content for that's a little farther out as well. So you'll get the book. You'll get the book this year, but then there's also other fun stuff that we're working on. So you won't have to wait too long for extra content. Yes,
it won't just be the book this year. So don't worry. When we do Werewolf, we're going to do it. All right. Let's talk about virtual tabletops real quick.
Yeah.
So we are at... Go. All right. Go, Sarah.
Well, okay. Virtual tabletops. Who here in chat? I want to hear about this. Do you play on a virtual tabletop? And how is that going? Do you like it? Are you excited for something else? Have you tried any new virtual tabletops recently? Because there's quite a few out there. So I'm just kind of curious. It'll take a little while. They'll tell us soon.
It will.
But anyway, we really like doing new things. We like experimenting, and we like kind of seeing what's on the cutting edge of everything we're working on. And so we have actually teamed up with a virtual tabletop group called Fantasy Grounds, and they are working hard on some stuff coming up for us. Do you want to talk about that, Scott?
Sure. So for World of Darkness fans, Fantasy Grounds has had some books up there, but they weren't being supported. with new releases, and now they are. So they are hard at work with the current catalog of books and getting all those books up and running on Fantasy Grounds. And then, kind of spoiler sneak preview for our Essence 20 fans. Essence 20 is also coming to Fantasy Grounds. We're going to talk about that when we get to those brands later. But for World of Darkness fans, if you're using Fantasy Grounds or you haven't used Fantasy Grounds, World of Darkness will be fully supported on there with, for Vampire, Hunter, and eventually Werewolf. So we just wanted to let you know that's in the works. Probably in about a month or so, we'll have some more information for you. All right.
I think that's gonna be great. I think it's just wonderful. You can play with people, especially with the Storyteller system. It's easy to do that online. So looking forward to having some more tools for that.
Yeah, cool. Good. All right. So let's keep moving. We have a lot to cover.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So next thing on our list is Vampire the Masquerade Rivals. So if you haven't played this expandable card game yet, please check it out. It's a lot of fun. You get to play with up to 4 players, battling it out to see who has the best deception skills, who has the most strategy, and generally who is going to be the prince of the city. So we have also just up until now focused on Vampire, but we have a new set coming out that we have not announced yet that allows you to play on the other side. So this new core set, so it's a good time to jump into this game, it's called The Hunter and the Hunted. And this includes some Vampire Clan decks, so 2 Vampire Clan decks, but also 2 Hunter cell decks, so you can play against each other and see which side of that is the best. I'm not sure, Vampire or Hunter. I think the chat should tell us which one of those sides you would be on. So yeah, the Vampire Clan decks included in this brand new core set are the Ministry and Caitiff, and the Hunter cell decks are going to be the Faithful Hunters and the Inquisitive Hunters. So no matter who you are, you have a good side to pick, and that is up for pre-order now, but it is releasing in August, and we're going to have it available for pickup at Gen Con, along with some very fun Gen Con events focused around that.
So a few people I saw were asking in chat kind of like what kind of a game is Rivals. So Rivals is a multiplayer. You can play two to 4 players. It's essentially a card game like you would expect from card games, but it's not collectible. So we call it an expandable card game. When you buy the box set, you get everything, all the cards in that set in the box, and you don't have to buy booster packs and that sort of a thing, but you can create original constructed decks, and you can play in tournaments and events. If you go up on the Renegade website, we have everything from store championships to big events at Gen Con and all that we're going to talk about in just a second, actually. But that's the type of game that it is. It is a card game like you would expect from competitive card games, but not collectible.
Very fun.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
So if you are going to be at Gen Con, obviously you've already pre-ordered things that we've talked about here. And so you might as well go pick them up on Wednesday, and then you still have a full 4 days of weekend gaming to enjoy, which should include some World of Darkness events. And we have quite a few of those. So starting off with our Rivals events, we have them happening every single day. We have new player tournaments. So anybody who's just asking about how does Rivals work, what kind of a game is this, we have events for you. If you're totally at zero, we will get you up to speed really fast. We will help you using pre-constructed decks, sit down at a table, we'll teach you how to play. We've also got a multiplayer world tour event. So you show up with your team and you get to play with other experienced Rivals players. So you would want to come with a deck that you've already built, know what you're doing, have your team all planned out. And this is fighting against a different city every round. So in Rivals, you have a city deck that creates global events that affect all players. And as those things happen, you have to sort of respond to them. But there's a different deck depending on which city you're in. So we started out in San Francisco. We've had other city decks that came out after that. So this one, you'll be going around the world to different cities, battling against your opponents, but with these events from that city happening. And we also have a solo showdown. So normally, like Scott mentioned, Rivals is a 2 to 4 player game. So there's a lot of interesting interactions with the other players, but this event really focuses on that player experience. So if you want to battle against just one other player heads on, this is the event for you. And it is a casual tournament. It's 5 rounds and you get participation prizes. And there are prizes for all of these events. If you show up, we're going to make sure you go home with something fun. Yeah. And then the big tournament, do you want to talk about our big Rivals event of Gen Con?
The North American Continental Conclave, is that what you're referring to? Yeah. So this is our big event for North America for the year. Everybody gathers to compete in this event, and the Prince of the City and other kindred will face off in 4 to 5 rounds of 4-player Swiss matches, vying for a place on the council, and the council is the top 16. So this is really fun. It's really a good time. The nice thing is the way we run our big premiere event for the year, like we had a North American Continental Conclave last year as well, and then we did one in Europe. They're open. So we don't have like a bunch of qualifiers and the whole gauntlet that you have to run through. If you're a fan and you're a player of Rivals, show up and you play in the big event for the year. And you can just show up, and it could be your first tournament playing, and you could walk away as the North American champion. So it's really fun.
That's very cool.
And we always have really lots fancy of cool prizes. Swag. We do. We make really fancy prizes. Everybody walks away with like some really cool swag. So all of these events will be up in May for pre-order, as well as ticketed RPG events. That was the last thing for World of Darkness we wanted to mention here. There will be events for, like we said, Werewolf, Hunter, and Vampire, all ticketed events where you can sit down and play. We're going to have a couple different stories that you'll be able to run through for each one. Maybe only one for Vampire, but the other ones will have multiples. And I can't stress enough, our tables always sell out. When Gen Con events open up in May, what's the date of that? Do you know, Sarah? It's
May 21st.
So May 21st. Mark your calendars. And you want to register for Gen Con now, get your badge, all that taken care of, because then you'll have an account. And on May 21st, you can just go start registering for events, and you'll get in, hopefully. But like, I would definitely say for RPG people, don't even wait a couple days. They always fill up really fast. We run as many tables as we can, and they always fill.
Noon Eastern time, May 21st. And you can sign up on Gen Con's site when you get a badge. Go sign up for them to give you reminders for when that's going to happen. Because it's serious, like sometimes minutes, depending on the event you're trying to sign up for. So if you have a particular time you want to play or a particular event you want to play in, make sure you're there and you sign up quick. It's a real thing.
Yeah. All right. Let's do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway for World of Darkness.
So I think we would like people to tell us what thing within the whole World of Darkness that we just talked about are you most excited to hear about. So post that in chat. Our moderators are going to pick somebody, and once they pick your name, they're going to post it in chat. And then all you have to do is write to customer service at renegadegames.com, and they'll get you hooked up with whatever title we just mentioned that you are most excited about. So put that in chat right now. So let's just review really quick. We talked about the Blood Sigil source book, Chicago by Night reprint, Discipline and Blood Magic cards, the Vampire dice bag. We talked about Hunter, the Reckoning Lines Drawn in Blood, the Storyteller Screen and Toolkit, the Premium Token pack, the Hunter's dice bag, and I don't know. Should we let them do anything else? That's probably Rivals.
Well, and I'm also going to say, if you pick that you want the Werewolf book as your prize, you can get the Werewolf book, like, for sure.
Oh, Scott's so nice.
It's so nice. I'm much nicer to people than I am to dice. So the way it works is whatever book you pick, you're going to be one of the first people in the world to get that book, because we get in early samples. We usually get in a handful of cases for our own proofing and to use for marketing purposes and things like that early, and we will send out the prize out of that pool. So whatever thing you pick, you're going to get really early, like super early. Like sometimes like 8 weeks, like 2 months early. Yeah.
And sometimes if you're picking a thing that's coming to air freight at Gen Con, it'll be the same time as everybody at Gen Con. But for everything
That's
else,
true.
it'll be super
For everything
early.
else, yes. If it's air freighted to Gen Con, that's as early as it gets. But yeah.
It is.
All right.
Do we pick
it looks
somebody? Oh,
yes.
It does. It looks like the player's guide. I love that. That's wonderful.
Pyro Fox. All right. Congratulations,
Nice.
Pyro Fox. You just
Very
don't,
cool.
we captured whatever information we can capture off of YouTube. Just email customer service at renegadegames.com and they will match you up and get your information and make sure that you get your prize. So
fun.
Cool.
Oh, that's very exciting. All right. Well, I think that's it for World of Darkness. But we have a lot of other things to cover today. So we should jump right into Axis and Allies.
Yeah, let's talk Axis and Allies. Sounds good.
Very cool.
All right.
So we have a couple things that are up for pre-order right now, including 1914, which we talked quite a bit about last Renegade Con in February. But that is actually coming out in August. So if you want to pick that up at Gen Con, we want to make sure that you know you can pre-order and pick it up for Gen Con, or it's just going to release in August as well. And there's the whole lineup. So we've got 1914, 1941, 1942, 1940 Pacific, 1940 Europe, all of them in a variety of box sizes.
Right. So so everything except for 1914 is releasing in May, and then 1914 will release in August, and we will have it at Gen Con for pickup and all that good stuff. All right. So that was a recap, but we have something new that we're going to announce, an actual new thing, a new Axis and Allies thing, not like information, an actual like thing.
They've been waiting. How many years has it been since there's been a new Axis and Allies thing?
It's true. This is probably the first. Yeah, the first new Axis and Allies something since probably like 2015, 2016. All right. So, all right. Well, what is it? Let's put the picture up. Let's see it. What does it look like? What is this thing?
Picture. All right. So this is the Axis and Allies global map. And it is essentially, if you've ever played Pacific and Europe together, then you can put those boards next to each other and you get what people have always called the global map. And it is just enormous. But we decided it wasn't big enough.
That's right.
We're actually making a map that is completely one thing all together, beautiful stitched edgings, premium neoprene matte material that combines those two maps so you can play on one huge table. I'm really excited about this. I think it's just a great idea.
Yep. So no little seams. It rolls up. It's really nice. Stitch edges, like the whole deal. And it's 20% bigger than if you put the boards together. This kind of came about because we were like, oh, we would like to have one of these for conventions and that sort of thing. So we were like, well, other people probably would like to have this thing too. So let's just make it. So this is going to be kind of fairly limited. We are going to have these for Gen Con pickup. That's where it's going to release at Gen Con. Because we are making a small amount of these, this won't be in stores. This is just a Renegade exclusive item. There are some stores that do get some of these things from us, but for the most part, it won't be in wide distribution. So if you want one of these, please pre-order it. It gives us an idea of how many that we're going to make, but it will be pretty limited and probably just a one-off unless it just like blows up and everybody just loves this thing. But it's not for the casual player. This is a big old map. This is pretty cool. So
very nice.
Hit the website.
It's on pre-order now. Yep. Yeah, you can go do it right now. Pick it up at Gen Con. It'll be available in August, or we will ship it to you. At least we'll try. We're shipping the entire globe to you, so it might be hard, but we'll make our best effort. Yeah,
let's see those other photos. There were some other photos too. So you can kind of see a comparison to the other boards. And then we even have a comparison next to Dan Bojanowski, our producer for this line. Dan is 6'1", so that's what you can see if the boards are laid on the map, so you can get an idea of how much bigger of a footprint it is. But then you can also get an idea what it looks like with a 6'1" grown man laying on it. So it's a big old map. So there you go. That's the proof. That's the proof just to test the neoprene and everything. Obviously, it doesn't have the map printed on there yet.
Yeah, this map, the lengthwise dimension of it is actually 7 feet. So this is not an insignificant size map. You'll want to plan your tables around this. But if you're doing a whole weekend of Axis and Allies, you probably already have a pretty big table to play on.
Yeah, it's like 1.15 dans or something. I don't know. It's like something like that.
We should put that on the box.
Yeah.
Oh dear. All right.
All right.
So Axis and Allies fans, if we don't have your attention yet, we would like to remind you that you only have 1 day left to be able to vote for our Pick the Battle vote. So do you want to tell us about what they're choosing in that voting, Scott?
Yes. So this is the last day. You need to go vote. It closes tomorrow. Just to recap, the vote's been going for about almost a month now. And Operation Market Garden, North Africa, Eastern Front, and Battle of Stalingrad are your choices. That will be the first brand new historical themed Axis and Allies title that we'll be putting out here at Renegade. It will come out in 2024. But you get to pick. We're going to make the game. You pick the battle, we'll make the game, just like the poster says. But this is your last chance. If you want your voice to be heard and you want to have input on what that is, you need to go vote now. The link just was posted in chat. And I think we're going to announce the winner tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
We're going to announce the winner tomorrow.
We're announcing the winner tomorrow. And then we have another thing coming up soon after that. So keep your eyes peeled. We want to hear from you. Very exciting.
So go vote. Tell us what we're going to make. And then stay tuned after we announce that. This month, we're going to announce something else. Again, you get to give us feedback and make decisions for games that you want to play. But this one is probably the most important thing you're going to vote on right now. Like this is kind of a big deal. We're not going to tell you what's in the lead or anything else. Just go vote.
It's important. Awesome.
It is important. All right.
Yes. So also, since this is our Gen Con special edition Renegade Con, we are also talking about Gen Con events. We have, as we announced earlier, we're going to be doing an Axis and Allies World Championship at Gen Con, which is a pretty big deal because it's going to be a huge event. Each time you play the game, it takes quite a long time. And so we're actually dedicating all 4 days to this World Championship event because we really want to know who the best Axis and Allies player is in the whole world. So sign up for that. Just like any other Gen Con event, you're going to sign up through the Gen Con system, get your badge, get your tickets there, make sure you're there on May 21st to be one of the first people to sign up because we do have kind of limited space. Because like I said, these events are big, they take up a ton of room, and we don't have a ton of spots for people. And this is a team event, so you'll want to make sure you find a buddy to come and enjoy this with as well. And this event is run by our head judge, Greg Smory, who's been running events like this at Gen Con for a very long time and really knows what he's doing. If you have ever been to Gen Con and played an Axis and Allies event, it was probably run by him. So we know that it's going to be run really smoothly, and we're supporting him in this event. It should be really good. We're excited for that.
And you can find, did Sarah say this or not? I don't know. I'm reading chat, so who knows what Sarah's saying over there. So the tournament rules are already posted on our website. So if you want to prepare for the tournament and start getting an understanding of how the event will be run, you can go to our website right now and you can see the World Championship tournament rules and how that's going to work. And again, May 21st event registration. We are limited to space. We have a lot of space at Gen Con, but we don't have all the space. So you need to pre-register for this event because it will likely fill up and be capped. So if you want to compete in the World Championship, make sure May 21st on your calendar, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This also has some really fun participation prizes. So if you sign up for this event, you're going to get a Deluxe Renegade lanyard, an Axis and Allies pin, and also an Axis and Allies notebook. And we also have some prizes. Some of those things will be available if you play in other events throughout the weekend for Axis and Allies. but I believe some of them are exclusive to the World Championship. So you're here, you're excited about Axis and Allies. Make sure you sign up for that. It's going to be worth it.
Yeah. Lots of swag. All right.
Definitely.
So should we give something away?
Yeah, it's giveaway time. All right. Axis and Allies fans, tell us, what was your favorite thing you just heard about? It can even be an event if you're really excited about our Gen Con events, and then you can pick something else if you want to later. But we have, just to recap a little bit, we have Axis and Allies global map. We also have 1914 coming out as a reprint. We've got all those fun Gen Con events. Those could be your favorite thing, or maybe it's just another one of the Axis and Allies things that have already come out. So we've got 1941, 1942, 1940 Pacific, or 1940 Global. Any of those could be your favorite. The Dan map. I think that's we should send one of those signed by Dan. I think that would be appropriate. Nice. I love it. People are excited about the global map.
They are.
Free lanyards. Those are pretty exciting.
Yeah, Axis and Allies lanyards pretty cool too. To answer somebody's question in chat. Oh wait, let's see who we have a winner. Mean Gene. Mean Gene would like a global map, please. One Dan size, Dan plus size map. Okay.
Nice. All right, we'll get you all hooked up with that, Mean Gene.
Nice, Mean Gene. Email customer service at renegadegames.com and tell them I am Mean Gene and I will take one map, please.
Perfect. All right. Did you want to answer a question, Scott?
Oh, just somebody in chat asked me if I was a Turtles fan. I bought Turtles off in a comic book shop when I was in school when it first came out, and I still have an original Turtles comic number 2. So I guess you could say I'm a Turtles fan.
I'm very glad nobody asked me, because I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid. I watched it all the time, and I had a stained glass thing. It was like a little craft kit that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I made stained glass of them. Nice. Nobody else did that.
I have a Batman like that on our Christmas tree that I made as a kid. One of those little stained glass, like, easy bake, whatever ornaments. I must have made as a kid. Yeah, for sure.
Those are so much fun. Love it.
All right.
Awesome. All right. That was Axis and Allies. Moving on to more 80s nostalgia. Oh, no, this is 90s nostalgia. Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
How many years old is Power Rangers, Scott?
How many years old is Power Rangers? Oh, geez, I lost track. We're coming up on 30
You should know this.
30 years old, right? Yeah, this is our 30th year.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
What's really crazy is that when we first started working on Power Rangers, the 25th anniversary was just happening. So we've been doing Power Rangers stuff now for 5 years. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. If we had had a kid at the very, very beginning of Power Rangers, would be old enough to be watching and then sword battling things.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't need a 5-year-old. No thanks. All right. So anyway.
No, 5-year-old Power Rangers fan would be fun though.
No, that might be fun. Okay.
Deck building game. So this is a new thing we haven't announced yet ever. This is pretty fun. So
we haven't announced this one? Oh, let's do it.
No, this is cool. So one of my favorite things since I learned about Power Rangers and really started paying attention and got into the story and all that is the whole Shattered Grid storyline that Boom Comics has done. So I think it's been really fun to read through those. I really like the story, and it's been fun to do those with Heroes of the Grid. But now in the deck building game, we also have a Shattered Grid expansion coming out. And this is also a crossover experience within the Power Rangers deck building game. So a crossover in sort of the universe. There's lots of different parts of the multiverse that get brought into the Shattered Grid. And I think that just allows a lot of extra things that we can do. They're a little bit different than some of the other expansions. So if you haven't checked out the Power Rangers deck building game yet, you definitely should. You get to play as either Power Rangers or as the villain, so it's heads up one side versus the other side type of a game, and now you play with the Shattered Grid universe, the multiverse there.
Yeah. I would say too, if you haven't checked out the Boom comics, buy the Shattered Grid trade paperbacks and just start there, and it'll get you hooked. It was an amazing storyline if you haven't read that. So it's really cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And so since it is sort of featuring the multiverse, we get pull-in cards and different types of things that happen in other deck building game sets that we've already done. So we have things like the Flying Higher SPD and RPM sets. Now we can pull in mechanics and events and features from those different expansions into the Shattered Grid expansion. So it's like this fun mishmash of all these different things that we've already done in the deck building game that makes sense in the multiverse of Shattered Grid. So super fun. And of course, because it's one of our deck building games, it comes with a bonus pack if you pre-order. And it's bonus pack number 5 for the deck building game.
Nice. All right. So bonus pack releases in August, Gen Con pickup, Shattered Grid, read the Boom comics. All right, there you go. It's good.
Excellent.
Oh,
and also
has the Ranger Slayer on the bonus pack. That's awesome.
Oh, the Ranger Slayer. If you love the
spoiler alert, the Ranger Slayer is on the bonus pack if you're unfamiliar with the storyline.
The Ranger Slayer is also in Heroes of the Grid. So if you want the figure to go along with this, then we've already made the Ranger Slayer.
That's true.
And we're already up to bonus pack 5, which means there's a lot of content already out there for the Power Rangers deck building game, and you might need somewhere to store that. So similar to our Heroes of the Grid fans, we have now made a special storage box to help you out called the card storage box just for the Power Rangers deck building game. It has 100 standard card dividers. That's amazing. Labeled for the different expansions. Also blank dividers so that you can label your own or organize them however you want. Also has 21 oversized card dividers. So that's for those bigger character cards. 7 labeled expansion dividers, 14 blank dividers. There's just a lot of stuff in here. Also, importantly, if you love the deck building game, but you don't always have somebody to play with, this also has 10 solo mode cards. So you can actually now play the deck building game with solo mode, which is really fun.
That's right. Yeah, solo mode. A lot of people have been talking about solo mode and stuff in the Facebook group. So this should be good. Yeah, so solo mode and a box. And do we have an image? They're not ready yet?
Not quite ready yet.
Oh, we were going to show the Heroes of the Grid storage box, though, so you can get an idea of kind of how we do storage boxes. So this one is not the deck building storage box, but just to give you an idea of Heroes of the Grid one. So that will probably show up shortly. There it is.
There you go. So the main difference between this one that we're showing you right now and the deck building game one is that the dividers and the tech boxes are slightly different sized because the cards for the Power Rangers deck building game are a little bit different card sizes. So we just want you to be aware of that. If you play Heroes of the Grid, you might want to think about whether or not the sizes are going to work for you if you wanted another card storage box, but you can always get 2 of the Heroes of the Grid card storage box if you're running out of room, or wait for more announcements later. So we have that for our deck building game fans. That is coming out in August, and it'll be available for pickup at Gen Con. They're really handy. Nice. I really like just having some place to put all of my stuff. Very useful.
Cool. Sweet. All right, deck building game. Let's move on to the role-playing game.
Ooh, have we really not talked about this next thing yet?
No, I'm really excited about it.
We haven't talked about it.
No,
I can't believe that.
This is probably the thing I'm most excited for this year anyway, for the role-playing game.
Nice. Okay, go for it. You can talk about this one.
All right, good. I can talk about this one. So one of the things that people were asking about when the role-playing game launched was like, we want more monsters. And we get it. Power Rangers is very big on monsters. So let's put the image up. The image really kind of speaks for itself. So we're going to be releasing Finster's Monster-matic Cookbook. what in the world is Finster's Monstermatic cookbook for the role-playing game? So it's a monster manual, right? It's gonna have over 100 monsters in the Monstermatic cookbook. It's going to cover things like alien sorcery, options for Power Rangers to gain one or more of those powers, character roles like the Psycho Rangers. So yes, the Psycho Rangers are in the book as the Psycho Ranger bad guys, but then there's also going to be information on how to portray the Psycho Rangers as reformed villains if you want to play them as heroes. There's going to be rules for creating, modifying, and using monsters in your game, because who better to teach you how to create a monster from scratch but Finster? So Finster is going to give you all that information. And yeah, this releases in August. It's going to be available for Gen Con pickup. Over 100 monsters. Like, this is just going to add so much to your game. I really personally like that we were able to take something like the Psycho Rangers and then also give you information on how to play them as playable characters too. Reformed psychos, right? Like even psychos can reform. But this is really cool. The team has been working on this one for months and months and months. All the art's been coming through. Like we're getting really close to them like laying this book out right now and everything. And yeah, it's really, really sweet. So there you go.
I just love the character of Finster. He's this little teeny guy that looks reasonably normal compared to all these crazy monsters in Power Rangers that are just wild and wacky. But he is one of the worst villains out of all of them. And he looks so innocent.
Yeah, it was even in Heroes of the Grid, right? Like, to scale with the other monsters, he's kind of like a small guy. But then when you play against him, it's like he's really, really tough because he's Finster. He's a bad dude.
He is a bad dude. Scary. All right.
Scary.
About that one. And then the next thing we have is the Power Rangers standee pack. And this one we already talked about in our last Renegade combo. I believe we have a new image to show off for this one.
Nice.
This will be available at Gen Con for pickup. And it's coming out in May. So if you're already playing a game of the Power Rangers role-playing game and you want to get these on the table, then we maybe don't have. I bet we have new images on our pre-order page. So go definitely check out the pre-order page for this one.
Okay, cool.
And that is also available for pickup at Gen Con. So that'll be good.
That's right.
Nice. And our next thing coming out is a new book called Across the Stars. So I wonder if people in chat can guess what that one's about. It's a little bit obvious.
They know.
They're usually pretty good at knowing this stuff.
Right.
So Across the Stars is coming out in June, but and we already announced a little bit about this one last time.
Yeah.
But we are doing the super surprise extra special PDF of this if you pre-order the physical book, and that PDF is going to be available March 8th. So just next Wednesday.
So you can have it in 1 week. And also just if I saw somebody asked in chat, yes, if you pre-order Finsters, you also get the PDF for free. That's just kind of standard. We do that for all of our books on pre-order. But you have to pre-order them to get it for free. All right. So Across the Stars, that's really cool. So the physical book releases in June, but I can have the PDF next Wednesday. And then next up, this one, I don't remember. I guess maybe we mentioned this in the past, but I don't remember mentioning it. This is a small thing.
Yeah, I don't think we had the full name of it yet. That's new.
Okay. All right. So let's tell them what the name is, Sarah. What's this thing? What's it called?
So the Phantom Gambit Adventure is an adventure that you can play inspired by Across the Stars. That is just a self-contained adventure ready to go. Makes it super easy. If you are a GM, you can sit down at the table and just have everything worked out for you and ready to go. And this is going to be available on our site pretty soon. We don't have pre-orders up quite yet because we're just finishing off the last few details of this one. But we wanted to just give you a little sneak preview because it is set up to be used with the rules that you'll find inside Across the Stars. So since you already know about that one, now you know the Phantom Gambit Adventure is going to be coming out at the same time as that in physical form. But we're going to put it up for pre-order and have the PDF a little bit afterwards. We're just a step or two behind on that one, but very close.
All
Cool.
right. Okay.
And then, of course, go for it.
Last but not least, for role-playing game, tell us about Play Renegade program.
Yeah, so just like we talked about for some of our World of Darkness stuff, we also have the Play Renegade program that works with all of our RPGs. And so you can sign up to be a GM if you want to run games in public places. And you can do that for Power Rangers RPG as well. And if you sign up and you're approved and you tell us when and where you're going to be playing, then we will be able to give you this free adventure called the Tenga Temple. And you'll get that about 6 months or so before anybody else will. So you have to be part of this program. You have to be willing to run it for other people, help us spread the word, and then we'll give this to you for free so you can run it with them. And in this adventure, you'll be everything you need. It's a PDF. We'll send it straight to you, and it's almost ready to go. This one is just super close. We're hoping by the end of this month, we'll have this ready to ship out to people. So plan when you're going to play these, whether it's a local convention, your friendly local game store, maybe even public library, or if you're a streamer, any of those count. Just let us know in the form on our website. Jordan has just posted the link for that. And as soon as you sign up, we'll get you approved. And then this will ship right to you in digital form as soon as it's ready. So excited about this. We also, what is this? One more RPG reveal. We have one more thing. Oh, no. We do have one more thing. Oh, I know what
we do.
Is.
You
yeah,
do? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you'll know. So yeah, stick around. We have one thing that we are doing at Gen Con for all of our RPG fans. That's actually really special and super cool. So we'll tell you all about that at the end of the section.
Cool. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
Do we have any Heroes of the Grid fans in chat? Maybe one or two.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. So we have the Shadow of Vengeance theme pack and the Rangers Allies pack number 3, which are already up for pre-order now. Those are coming out in May. Those are really close. Like, they're already on a boat. So if you haven't put in your pre-orders yet, please do that right away because we don't want to miss you. And those will also be available for Gen Con. And I think we have one other little spoiler. So we are not quite ready to tell you yet about our next Heroes of the Grid expansion release. We will be doing that shortly, but it's a little early for that.
That comes out after Gen Con. We're not, that's after Gen Con. So it's way too early, way too early.
But Jonathan Yang did just want to say hi. So since we don't have anything else to share with you, we did get this picture from Jonathan. So we hope that this holds you over at least until we're ready to announce the next thing. So we'll get that picture will be up there soon.
All right.
Should be pretty fun. All right. And of course, make sure, oh man, that'll be interesting. People probably screenshot that one. And then of course, we do have Gen Con events coming out for the RPG as well. And that'll be all throughout Gen Con. Make sure you sign up for those events starting May 21st at noon Eastern Standard Time because they will fill. So if you want to play in RPG events hosted by amazing game masters who have done this for years at Gen Con and just love Power Rangers, please sign up right away because they don't have a lot of slots. And then we also have the deck building game. We have a league that's going on all week for that as well. And you'll have a chance to learn how to play. You'll have a chance to play in the league. There's just tons of prizes in the league. You can show up and play whenever you want, sit down, play a game with another fellow Ranger, and have a chance to gain prizes. It's very relaxed. Yep.
Very relaxed.
Should be fun. And then we have a bigger RPG event plan that we're going to tell you about soon. at the end of this. Almost there.
Yeah.
Not quite yet.
Okay. All right. Let's do a giveaway.
Ooh, this is a special giveaway just for Scott because this is your favorite thing ever.
Oh, I get to give it away? Nice. Okay. So all right, Power Rangers fans, tell us what you're most excited about in Finster's Monster-matic cookbook. Tell us in chat right now, and you will get an early copy, first person in the world to get Finster's Monster-matic cookbook. Go and post. Nice. All right. And then chat will do things and tell us who gets it.
Very exciting. There was a question in chat about the Declan game promo bonus pack 5. Is that all just foil cards? I believe those are foil cards, foil versions of characters that are in other packs.
Yeah.
I believe that is true. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's correct. Whoa. Now it's really moving.
Oh, what are people saying?
Lots of Finsters, just in general. Psychos, Psycho Rangers, Eye Guy.
Yeah, hoping Eye Guy is in there. That's a reasonable guess.
Reformed bad guys. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and you could use that premise of reforming the psychos to other things too. Like maybe in your campaign you're able to reform a monster and maybe he joins the team. That'd be interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Gerald Paul.
Looks like we have a winner.
Yeah, Gerald Paul, Psychopaths.
Nice.
Nice. Cool. Go ahead. Email customerservice@renegadegames.com. Tell them I am Gerald Paul, the proud early owner of Finster's Monster-matic cookbook, and they will take care of you.
Yay! Right. Congratulations. Fun.
All right, good stuff.
All right, moving on to G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe has a really big year this year.
Yes.
There's just not only a lot of stuff that we have going on, but also it's an anniversary for them as well, right?
It is for the anniversary for Real American Hero is this year.
Nice.
So
that's awesome.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of very fun stuff for it.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about first? Mission Critical. I think we're going to talk about Mission Critical. There we go.
Nice. So Mission Critical, we have 2 new themes to announce this Renegade Con. And the first one is an expansion for Mission Critical called Midnight Storm. So this one includes Storm Shadow and his army of red ninjas. So those are bad guys you get to face off against. And hopefully they won't crush you, but they might because they're really scary and hard.
Yes, but you also get new Joes too, right? So we're getting Jinx, Mutt, and of course Junkyard, because can't have one without the other.
And if you haven't played this or Heroes of the Grid before, all of these characters, including those new Joes, are heroic size miniatures. So they're bigger than you would expect and super fun to paint, especially if you're a new painter. They're really easy to be able to just get some paint on. They look great on the table. You won't have to paint them if you don't want to, but it's one way you can also enjoy the game in between sessions. And this is coming out in August. So again, you can pick this up at Gen Con if you want to pre-order using that special code. Don't forget to put your Gen Con pre-order code in to make sure that actually works. And you'll also, when you pre-order, get Vehicle Pack 3, which is a bonus pack with extra vehicles, because who doesn't want more vehicles when you're playing for Mission Critical? You've got to get more vehicles. They're just really helpful.
Yeah, they're important.
Awesome. And then coming out with this at the same time is also another expansion called Vanguard Strike. So in this one, you need to stop Firefly and Alf? How do you say that?
Oh no, that is not Alf. Alf, the guy that eats cats.
No, I don't think that's right.
That's not right.
Okay. You tell us about this one, Scott. So you stop Firefly and
Aleph.
Yeah, Aleph.
Actually,
that's how you say it.
You know what? That is, I'm a 80s guy. That is not one that is
So while he's looking that up,
comes to mind
I
for
do
me.
know the
Yeah,
Joes
yeah,
that are
yeah.
in this one. So this also includes Lady J. So that is very exciting. I love Lady J. So I can't wait to have her as one of the Joes I can play. And Flint and Barbecue. So get some new
Yeah.
Joes, fight against some new bad guys.
Nice. So and this is coming out at the same time, right? So it's Vanguard Strike and Midnight Storm both come out at the same exact time, right? Okay.
Yep,
Nice.
they're coming out together. So if you order either
Cool.
one of them, you get the vehicle pack 3. If you order them together, then they'll ship together, which is a little bit more efficient for everybody, including shipping costs. And you can pick them up at the same time at Gen Con if
Nice.
you'd like to do that.
Cool.
So those are coming out. And if you don't want to wait that long, since those are coming out in August, we also have the Sergeant Slaughter character pack, which we talked about in the February Renegade Con. And that is coming out in July, but you could still bundle that all together, avoid paying shipping, and get that through the Renegade store as pre-order today.
Nice. Alrighty.
Nice.
So that's there it is.
That's it for Mission Critical for now. But then we also have the deck building game, which this is one of the expansions I'm most excited about for this year. Especially for G.I. Joe, this is super cool.
This is ridiculous. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous when people like we have an image of like the prototype, right? That we're going to show for this thing.
I'm pretty sure we do. I think it might be the next picture.
Okay.
It's
so tell them what the name of this deck building game expansion is. And then Katie, get that image up, because this is going to be.
So the name of this expansion is Raise the Flag. And I would love to see if people want to type in chat what their guess is for this one. And there's the picture of it, so you probably already know. So this is really neat from a gameplay perspective too, because this is actually a 5-episode branching storyline expansion for the G.I. Joe deck building game.
Yeah.
And so normally in an expansion for this game, you would get sort of one episode, like one main mission that you play through. But in this one, you actually get 5 different missions that all connect together. Oh, I'm sorry. You normally would get like 2 missions, 2 episodes, and this one has 5. So this gives you lots of choices throughout the campaign, and it's going to be super replayable. The choices that you make in parts of the campaign will affect the rest of the campaign. So if you play through it another time and you make different choices, and you'll get to different parts of the campaign. It's super neat. I love the way that the team has been working on this one. And it has an extra feature that we haven't really seen in any of the other ones.
So how many people in chat wanted to own the original USS Flag aircraft carrier toy as a kid, or even not as a kid, like as an adult? But I think that thing back in the 80s, I remember seeing it up on the shelf in Toys R Us, and it was like $150. And in the 80s, $150 is like an insane amount of money for a toy, right? So we decided that this game needed a constructible aircraft carrier for the deck building game, and we're gonna put it in the box. So we're gonna show you the prototype, and you can see what it's gonna look like. Somebody said they owned it. Wow, you're like the lucky kid on the block. Like, we would have all been at your house. So what you're seeing now is the prototype for the USS Flag aircraft carrier that you build out of that deck building game box. And there's Sky Strikers on the deck. Those Sky Strikers were just for scale for prototypes. The one that's circled is the actual to scale Sky Striker size that will be in the box. The other ones were just us playing around. And the pre-order bonus for this gets you more Sky Striker jets. So a couple Sky Strikers come in the box, and then the pre-order bonus gets you more Sky Strikers, so you can fill up your deck of your USS Flag with aircraft and have that thing sitting out on your table. It is not, somebody says, is it 6 feet? It is not 6 feet, but it is big. Yeah, it is not a small thing.
We actually were having kind of a tough time fitting it in the box, to be perfectly honest. We
Yeah.
figured it out, but it was not a straightforward problem to solve. So
Yeah.
it's big.
It's
But no, not Dan
it's
big.
really cool. Not Dan big. It's not as big as a Dan. So,
Less
but
than one Dan.
yeah, it's really cool. We'll have this at Gen Con, and of course, the finished one will have art on it and actually look like the USS flag, not just our prototype there. So we just thought this was something really fun to make. And if you're going to make a USS flag expansion, I wanted a USS flag. So secretly, this was like my in, like, okay, I want a USS flag to put on my shelf back behind me. So there you go.
You have been talking about this since the very beginning of when we talked about doing GI Joe stuff.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Before we even finished signing the license, we were like, I was saying we are going to figure out a way to get the USS flag in one of our games in some way, like in a 3D experience. So there you go.
Nice. I'm glad we made this finally happen. And I can't wait to have this at Gen Con. So if you are going to be at Gen Con, please stop by and see our display model of this one, because it's going to be awesome. And it won't be this color. Like, again, this is a prototype. We're just working on all the pieces. This is just cardboard, but it'll look amazing. We're very excited for that.
Stay tuned. Cool. We will post more spoilers as they are finished.
Yes, definitely. All right, so that's it for the deck building game, but we also have some RPG news, some other exciting stuff, especially if you're a bad guy, which we've already determined Scott is. So
yes, this is the book that I've been waiting for the G.I. Joe role-playing game. I mean, I love the Joes. I grew up reading the comics and watching the TV show and all that. But sometimes late at night, I get the urge to take over the world. I do. I have to just say. I feel like I should be able to take over the world. And this book, the next book that we're going to announce, will help me do that.
We've made the book for you, and it is the Cobra Codex.
That's right.
So Cobra Codex is coming out in August, and it has a lot of content for everybody. So I know sometimes it can be a challenge. Sometimes you pick up this book and it has a lot of content for GMs. Sometimes you pick up a book and it's mostly content for players. Well, this one has tons of stuff for everybody. So do you want to tell us what players get out of this one?
Let's see. So what don't they get? They get to play as Cobra and all that implies, right? Like all the Cobra allies and things like that. So tailored for Cobra player characters with new influences, origins, and focuses, and all that content for influences and origins and etc. can also be used for your Joes. So even though this is a Cobra focused book, it is still valuable for people that are playing as Joes. There's alternate rules to make the roles from the Cobra rulebook less heroic and more sinister. So, again, kind of that cross compatibility, options to customize characters with mutations and cybernetic enhancements, new equipment options, including shields and jetpacks, Cobra locations, new threats, allies usable in any campaign. So that's all cool stuff for players. And then for game masters, different ways to define Cobra as an organization and how each might impact your campaign world, right? So like Cobra Commander isn't always in charge, even though he should be. So threats, I mean, come on, he has the coolest helmet. Threats, NPCs for Cobra characters, for encounters, missions around Cobra headquarters, just saying, an original mission for new Cobra recruits called Live the Cobra. So it's going to have a kind of an introductory adventure in there. So if you're a new recruit just signing up, you get to be put through your paces. And a bunch of new stat blocks. So there's new stat blocks in there, beyond just Cobra stat blocks. We're also putting stat blocks in there for Duke and Roadblock, Lady J, Snake Eye, Serpentor, Tombstone, Gung Ho, and more. So that is just a sampling of the stat blocks in there. It is releasing in late August, but we will have a limited amount of these available for Gen Con pickup. This is one we're probably going to have to fly in. But yes, we will have it there for you. This is super exciting. you get to play as the real heroes.
The real heroes. Oh no. Oh dear. I did see a good question in chat. Somebody was wondering if you still need the core rulebook to be able to play with this. And yes, you do. This doesn't have all of the information that you need to play, but it does have all sorts of good stuff in it. Like we said, both for players and for GMs. So definitely check this one out and use it with the core rulebook.
That is correct.
Great question. And we have a few other accessories. So if you are on the Cobra side of the fence, you will definitely want your own evil dice set. And I am happy to say that they will also be able to rest in a nice, calm, comfortable dice bag as well. So we have a Cobra dice set a Cobra dice bag. Do you want to show us the Cobra dice?
Yes. So the dice are available now. Like literally, these are real dice. They are here, right? They're shipping. If you order them, they ship now.
They are in our warehouse, ready to go. They are in our warehouse. Special surprise.
Yeah. So these are, as you might expect, Cobra, that's the D2, right? They're two-sided. Our Cobra colors of black and red. They look really good. Yep, they're nice. There's our D4. Fun. Yes, very red. There's our D4. This D4 is, my lighting isn't good enough, I don't think, to pick up the numbers. But yeah, D4 is all good. Nothing going on there. So yeah.
No problems with that D4, unless we let Scott be too mean to it, I guess. But so far, so good.
I have it on good authority that Cobra dice roll better than G.I. Joe dice. Yes, yeah. That's what I've experienced, is that evil dice, they're aggressive.
Yeah, we couldn't contain them. We were gonna wait until the Cobra book came out, but we figured, why wait? We always make you guys wait. So this time you don't have to wait.
You don't have to wait.
you can be evil right now.
That's right. All right.
And a dice bag set too. Yep.
But wait,
and dice bag.
There's more. Cobra gets more love. This is like the summer of Cobra. It is.
There's a lot of evil happening here.
Right.
So if you didn't have enough Cobra yet, we also have the Villain Miniatures Set 1, which includes 12 villain miniatures, including Cobra Commando, Cobra Commander, Destro. Combine the two of them. Destro, Zartan, Baroness, and more. And these are all much more. 12 different villain miniatures.
Yes.
And so you can see them all there.
Yeah. There's Arana, there's Zartan, there's Tomax and Zammot, Storm Shadow and Serpentor, Road Pig, Major Blood. And then you meant, Dr. Mindbender. I don't know if you said Dr. Mindbender. You have to have Dr. Mindbender in there. Yeah. And Destro. Destro's, he's useful, but you got to keep him in his place. Cobra Commander, and of course Baroness. So yes, lots of little lots of heroes for your game.
So all of these villains are in a 1-inch grid size, so you can play them with the RPG. And as I mentioned, for Mission Critical, there's also really fun characters in that game as well, but they are a slightly different size. They are the heroic miniature size, which is bigger, just so that you are all very well aware of how that works. So we've got heroic miniature size, and then these are the 1-inch base size ones.
Right. Correct.
And these are coming out in August, so they'll be in time for that Cobra Codex release as well. And these are up at Gen Con.
These are being manufactured as we speak.
Yeah, we've already seen some of the first shots of these, what they're called when they put the molds together and they put the stuff in them and they make just a couple and then they send them to us just to make sure everything looks good. Those are called first shots. And then we check them out and we tell them if we want any changes, and then we're good to go. And those ones, we've already seen some of those. So that means they're really far along.
Yep. They're good. All right. One more, just a reminder, right?
Yeah, just a reminder. So this is coming out in June, the Sergeant Slaughter limited edition accessory pack. So again, we've talked about some limited edition stuff. This is another one of those where we aren't making a ton of it. So definitely make sure you pre-order now. We talked about this quite a bit in February. Sergeant Slaughter, super fun character. Definitely want to add him to your game. And that will be available for Gen Con pickup as well, coming out in June.
Yep. Somebody asked in chat if we'll be releasing Trooper set of minis just for Troopers. So I will tell you, I'll spoil, like we just announced recently for Power Rangers a standee pack. We are working on a G.I. Joe standee pack with lots of cannon fodder for your battles. So
cannon fodder is definitely an appropriate term. Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. And then, of course, just like with our other games, we will have events for this at Gen Con. And then even before Gen Con, we also have a special adventure for this for the Play Renegade program. So if you are a GM and you would like to run events in public places like your friendly local game store, sign up for our Play Renegade program, and then you will get this special unique adventure that doesn't exist anywhere else sent digitally to you as soon as the end of March. So sign up for when you want to be running your events to make sure that you get this adventure in time to prepare for that. And that's all a free program. We just want to thank all of our wonderful GMs who put so much time and effort into sharing our games with other people in public spaces. So this is our gift to you. So that'll be lots of fun. All right. So sign up for that. And then Gen Con events, we have events for both the deck building game and the RPG. So for the deck building game, we've got learned plays, and we also have our league where you'll be able to play and get prizes just for playing, just for showing up. We have participation prizes just for being part of the league. You can learn how to play during the league if you want to, or you can join some of our special learn how to play events. Either way, We've got ticketed sessions showing up all day long. Sign up, come to Gen Con, play games with us. It'll be very fun. And we also have another huge RPG event planned for Gen Con that we haven't told you about yet. But we're going to.
That's true.
We're almost there. We're getting close. We just have a few more things. So I think to help you wait, we should probably do a giveaway.
We should do a giveaway. What are we giving away? We're giving away you can pick your G.I. Joe thing. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, whatever you are most excited about for G.I. Joe, let us know in the comments right now, and we are going to pick a winner. And that person will just need to write to customer service at renegadegames.com, and they will get whatever they are most excited about as an early copy. So if this is something that's not out yet, we will ship it to you as soon as our airship copies of that thing arrive. Super early, way before anybody else gets it, even before it goes onto a boat. You'll have it and get to play with it early.
I'm really torn. I want the Cobra Codex really badly, but I also want the USS Flag.
I think you're wrong. I think that I think Vanguard Strike sounds really cool. Like having those miniatures to play with.
That's true too. It does have there's Storm Shadow in there.
Yeah. Vanguard Strike has Lady J in it. And I want
to that's the other one with Lady J. Oh, you want to paint Lady J. I see. Okay. I'll allow it. That's reasonable.
That's right. Oh, I see some excitement for Sergeant Slaughter for the RPG.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Oh, so much G.I. Joe love. All right, Andrew Day. Andrew Day, you won and chose the Cobra Codex. Oh, there you go, Andrew.
Nice.
That's right. Let me know when you have a plan. We will take over the world together. So
that sounds scary. Good luck with that.
So just email customer service at renegadegames.com. Tell them that you won the giveaway, and they will match you up with the YouTube things, YouTube magic, and then you'll get your stuff, your game, get your stuff.
Awesome. All right. We are trucking through this, but we still have so many fun things to tell people about. Okay, so My Little Pony deck building game. I am excited for this next expansion because it kind of goes along in a theme of what we've been doing this year. So if you were there for the last Renegade Con, we talked about New Alliances, which is the G.I. Joe deck building game. expansion that
Mm-hmm.
also works with Transformers, so G.I. Joe and Transformers together. And we've had several other things that are crossover events. Even Shattered Grid is kind of like its own mini crossover event. So this is a crossover year. And the next deck building game expansion we have for the My Little Pony game is called Collision Course. And this is also a Transformers expansion crossover. So you get to play with the fantastic rules by Christopher Chun of the My Little Pony deck building game, but they need a little extra help and a little extra friendship. And so the Transformers are coming to help them. And it's going to be some magical mayhem for sure as the Transformers find themselves in Equestria. And of course, it wouldn't be Transformers or My Little Ponies without the Decepticons teaming up with nefarious pony villains. I don't know about pony villains. Those sound extra scary. So it's definitely not going to be any good. And the main six and Spike are going to team up with the Autobots as 2-in-1 character cards. So you get one character card that's going to have My Little Pony and an Autobot on it. So you get to experience both at the same time. And you also get to use the mighty Autobot abilities by generating Energon on the cards to give you an extra energy boost instead of eating sugar cubes. I do like sugar a lot, but Energon sounds like a pretty good alternative. So that is coming out in September. And if you want it really early, about a month and a half early, you can pick it up at Gen Con, of course. So that's going to be a really fun one. I love the My Little Pony deck building game rules. And of course, I like My Little Pony a lot too, but the rule set is just really well designed. So adding Transformers into that, I think will be really special.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. And just continues our kind of theme this summer and this year of crossover stuff. Lots of crossover.
Definitely.
All right. Okay, so that was really cool for the deck building game. Are we ready to move on?
Yeah, to the RPG.
Okay. All right. Role-playing game, My Little Pony. What's going on?
Yes. So the My Little Pony role-playing game, we have been working really, really hard on it. And we are very close to finalizing the core rulebook. I believe that team has actually finished it all up, and we're going to be putting out the core rulebook in June. And alongside that, we're actually going to be releasing the In a Jam adventure and screen. Pre-orders are open up for that now. You can pick that up at Gen Con if you want to. And that's fully releasing in August. So the core rulebook is coming out in June. The adventure and screen are coming out in August. You can pick that up at Gen Con. We talked about that at our last Renegade Con. So the new information we have about the core rulebook is that we are going to have the PDF ready for you as a super early surprise on March 14th. So that'll have fillable character sheets, the whole rulebook. You'll get dive right into it. We're also putting out the dice and the dice bag. Those will be going out right away as well. So if you haven't pre-ordered those, please pre-order those as well. And those will all be coming out right away. So dice and dice bag come out now. The main core rulebook coming out in June. The PDF, if you order the core rulebook, will be free, and that comes out on March 14th. So Thank you for your patience. We promise it's very, very soon. We're just finishing up all of the last little details with the book.
Yeah. And one of the coolest things, if you missed the stream a month ago, and especially the deep dive when they talked about My Little Pony RPG, is My Little Pony introduces magic to the Essence 20 system. So just from that standpoint alone, I really like if you're playing any of the other Essence 20 games that we've released so far, I highly encourage you to go on our YouTube channel where you are right now and find the My Little Pony video from a month ago. They really go into a lot of stuff that will enhance your overall options in the Essence 20 system that kind of originates from My Little Pony. So it's really cool. So March 14th, you can have that and start reading it. All right.
Excellent.
So
all right.
The title of the Play Renegade program adventure for My Little Pony is one of my favorite titles so far.
I forgot about this one. So if you would like to play this in any public space and you are part of our Play Renegade GM program, you get to get a free copy of The Great Cake Mistake, which is our upcoming adventure that you can run in any of those public spaces. So, as a little story preview for this, you and your friends have to find Zecora and help them find a cure to the spotty pony outbreak. So, The Great Cake Mistake, save everybody, cure diseases, go have fun, and get this for free many, many months before anybody else will have access to it, and play it with your friends. That should be fun.
Yeah, very cool.
And of course, we are also running events for this at Gen Con. For both the deck building game, you can play in our Learn to Play events, or you can play in our League program, where you get to sign up once and play all weekend, get free prizes as you play. And you can also play in the Learn to Plays, or if you're playing the role-playing game, we have those ticketed RPG events that are going to open up on May 21st at noon Eastern time. So make sure to go and buy your badge for Gen Con now, so you're all set and ready to go to be able to get those events when they open up. There we go.
Nice. All right.
I think we should do a giveaway for
I think so
My Little
too.
Pony fans.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So if you are excited about Collision Course, which is our deck building game expansion that is a crossover for Transformers, or you're excited about any other My Little Pony things that we have, there's the core game for the deck building game. There's also the RPG core book coming out. There's the most sparkly dice you've ever seen for My Little Pony. Beautiful dice bag. There's also a character journal that we have up for pre-order as well. Any of those things, or in a jam, the screen and adventure, those are all available options. Post what you would like most in the chat, and you could be one of our lucky winners.
Nice.
So, yeah, go for it. Post. Tell us, what are you most excited about? What are you most excited about, Scott?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, the crossover with Transformers is pretty awesome. That's pretty amazing. I mean, just the disparity between My Little Pony and Transformers and them teaming up is just really fun. So, but the RPG stuff is really exciting too. I mean, the My Little Pony book is really good, so that's going to be fun too.
And it looks like we have a winner. So we've got Bluey 05 in a jam. Oh, that's a fun one. Nice to have the screen and that adventure. Cool. So we will get that early copy to you as soon as it shows up. Just reach out to customer service at renegadegames.com. All right. Moving on to Transformers. So we have just sort of been seeing Transformers pop up in all sorts of different weird places this year. Like you mentioned, it's a crossover year, and they just seem to appear everywhere. We've seen them show up in... They really are. I mean, everybody needs help, and who better to help out than huge robots? Transformers, in fact. All right, so we have Transformers showing up in the My Little Pony deck building game Collision Course. They've been in the G.I. Joe deck building game New Alliances, which is just about to come out. And also, we have some other things for them. Some little special prizes. Surprises.
Some surprises.
Yes.
So I think we have some news about The Time Is Now, correct?
Yeah, so The Time Is Now, we talked about in our last Renegade Con, and our surprise for our Transformers fan is that PDF is coming out early, and if you pre-order the physical book now, you'll actually get that PDF next week on March 8th. So we didn't want you to have to wait too much longer. So you get that now, and then you get the physical book starting in May. Or, of course, you can pre-order for Gen Con Pickup. And even if you pre-order for Gen Con Pickup, you still would get the PDF next week, next Wednesday, March 8th. So, and then you'll get to pick up the physical book when you show up at Gen Con.
Cool.
So, and of course, we also have a Play Renegade program adventure for Transformers, and the name of that adventure is the Winner's Cup. And that story preview for you is that a group of up-and-coming Autobots embark on their first undercover mission. I'm not really sure how you go undercover as an Autobot, but I'm excited to find out more about that. Seems like they
Nice.
wouldn't be very stealthy.
No, well, no. Among other Autobots, or among other Transformers.
Nice.
All right.
So
Cool.
if you're a Transformers fan and you are running the RPG in public spaces, please sign up for our Playing Renegade program, and we will send this fantastic adventure to you for free at the end of March. So that is mostly it for Transformers fans, but we do have a few other quick. We have something else we're going to tell people about.
I think we should talk about the RPG thing before we do a giveaway, so that way we can include that in the giveaway.
I think that's fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this
it's
involves
pretty special.
Yeah. So this involves Transformers as well as other things. So this is for role-playing fans of Essence 20, the Essence 20 system. The next big source book that's coming out this summer, among all the other goodness, right? Cobra gets a book and My Little Pony core book and all that stuff, is the Field Guide to Action and Adventure. So what is the Field Guide to Action and Adventure? It is a book that includes Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Transformers all in one book. It gives you new character options plus ways to combine character options from different games. So if you have a Transformers character option and maybe you want to use it in a Joe game or vice versa, you can mix those things. So it also includes instructions for running action and adventure games in the Essence 20 role-playing system overall. Rules for creating custom threats to menace your heroes. This is across all the different games. An example crossover scenario. So it has Memories and Salvation that will give you the opportunity to mix characters from all the different, those three different books. And a nice, cool hardcover wraparound. I think we have the spoiler of that. We can show you the artwork for the book. So this is a source book that covers Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Transformers all together. Field Guide to Action and Adventure will release this July and available at Gen Con. So this is super cool. Like, this is really like what we were when we started off and started working with Hasbro on all of these brands and able to put them all under one role-playing system. This is what 10-year-old me wanted to be able to do. Is I want Transformers teaming up with Power Rangers, and Power Rangers, becoming a member of a G.I. Joe team, and just kind of, do your own crossovers and your own mashups and everything else. So this gives you a big old chunky source book with lots of information on how to make that stuff happen and cross over all your stuff. So really super cool. The cover's amazing.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the biggest things we have coming out this year. Our team has been working really hard on this, and I think it's just going to be a lot of fun to be able to do all of the things that people want to do with G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, and Transformers all together at the table.
Yeah. So
it's going to be great.
We have also, just we'll mention real quick before we move out of RPGs specifically, we have something to talk about for Gen Con, but also Fantasy Grounds. If you missed it earlier when we were talking about World of Darkness, Fantasy Grounds is going to be supporting Essence 20. They are working on Essence 20 books right now. We'll have more news in about a month or so as far as timing, but it's another option for virtual tabletops. So Transformers, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, My Little Pony fans, they will be supporting Essence 20 on that virtual tabletop system. So stay tuned for more information. So should we do a giveaway, or should we talk about the big Gen Con RPG event?
I think we should talk about Gen Con. I'm so excited about this. We've been talking about this internally for a few months now. We really wanted to do something special for all of our RPG fans at Gen Con. And as we've said, this is our crossover year. We've got a whole book based on crossover stuff. So let's celebrate that. So we decided to come up with a special event at Gen Con, and this is going to be really limited. So again, you're going to want to be on the ball signing up for this. And it is called Worlds Collide Battle for the Multiverse. So do you want to tell us a little bit about how this will work?
Yes. So Battle for the Multiverse, first of all, it's a special event on Saturday night in our kind of private Renegade room. We have a big event room just for special stuff. So it's a multi-table event, and it's this giant cooperative event. So all these different tables will be running, and the premise is a villainous experimentation has caused three universes to collide, meaning villains Lord Zed, Dr. Mindbender, and Shockwave have combined into Lord Mindwaves. With a Z at the end, with a Z. So Lord Mindwaves is doing what you would expect those people to do, but now he's combined and he's Lord Zed, Mindbender, and Shockwave all together. So whether you're a Power Ranger, a G.I. Joe, or a Transformer, this is your battle. The battle for the multiverse happens that evening at Gen Con. What you do at your table, playing out at each individual table, will actually combine and affect. We will have a big global map, and things that you're doing in your individual games are going to work together towards defeating Lord Mindwaves during this event. It's really cool. This was actually Jordan put this together, and he's been working with our writers and RPG team, and this is going to be really fun. So this is a special event Saturday night. You have to register for it through the Gen Con registration system, which opens up on May 21st. We're limited in the amount of space. We can only run so many tables. So if you want to participate in this epic event, like crossover event, be sure to sign up. There you go.
Yeah, this is going to be really neat. I love that all of it, everybody playing in the room is sort of playing together. Like you have your own individual table and you have your own special person running that individual table, but we also have somebody who's going to be overseeing everything. So
there will be there will be a master game master.
A master game master. That's right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is going to be the beginning of something that we hope to do every year, because it sounds like it's going to be a great event.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So now maybe we should do a giveaway.
Let's do a giveaway. So this is for Transformers stuff. Okay. So any Transformers things that we've announced, plus the crossover field guide to action and adventure, because Transformers are a big part of that. So Transformers fans, post in chat the upcoming release that you're excited about, that you would like to get for free in advance, early, first person in the world, and we will pick a winner.
Do. All right, while we're waiting, do you have a favorite Transformers character?
A favorite character? I like a lot of them. Like, Bumblebee, of course. Everybody likes Bumblebee. I mean, I have a Bumblebee behind me that's die-cast, so he's kind of cool. I'll tell you, out of all the stuff that we announced, what? No, I was going to say, out of all the stuff that we announced, the thing that I'm most excited about, but I can't play because I wouldn't take a seat away from somebody, is playing in the Worlds Collide event. But I can't,
for sure,
can't take a seat from somebody because it's going to sell out for sure. But lots of field guides, definitely. Lots of field guides in chat. The time is now. Yeah.
And it looks like we have a winner. So Knock Ripper wins a field guide to action and adventure. Imagine that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. We're excited to hear all about it when you get your super early copy. So just write to customer service at renegadegames.com and we will get you all set up for that.
All right. But we're not done. We have a few more things, right? We need to talk about some board games and some diplomacy and some other things.
Yeah, we have board and strategy games section, including a game that actually is a blast from the past. So this is a game that we made a long time ago and we are revitalizing and bringing back into the world. I love this game. I remember sitting around at the BGG Con bar playing this game with the designer. Yeah. And that must have been about 5,000 years ago.
Yes. 5,000 years exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So this game is Junk Orbit. And if anybody remembers this from the past, this is a game that's really unlike any strategy game that I've played since then or before then. It has some really unique mechanics and it's light, it's fast. You're going to be able to sit down and learn this game and play it with your friends in 45 minutes and just have a blast with it. You are spinning around the orbits of different planets and planning your moves to be able to get to the right place, to collect the right junk, to get the most points. So it's a lot of planning and strategizing, and then super fun, silly things happen. So in the past, we had slightly different packaging. We now have this in a box that fits very, very nicely on your Calyx shelves. So if you are trying to find space for things, this will fit, which is a little bit easier than past versions of it. And also it has a really nice plastic tray for organizing all the bits inside, which is always handy. It makes setup and tear down really easy. We also made some slight adjustments to the game, even though it was great before. We found that some ships were a little bit unbalanced with their powers, so we've evened those out. So everything is just fair and even. Nobody's going to win every time. So I like that. And we also include some other things. Do you want to tell us about the extra stuff that we threw in the box for this one?
Sure. So this comes with 2 mini expansions are included in the box. So there will be a mission control pack, includes 5 new ships, cards with 10 new player powers, and the Tours mini expansion, which also includes 10 tourist cards, adding new and interesting ways to score points, but with some risk. I like when things include lots of risk. Risk is good. I like that kind of like, push your luck sort of a thing. That's always really fun. So yeah, so this is the old game kind of remastered with all new content put into the box for the first time.
The other thing I'm really excited about this one that I think will make a lot of people happy is that it also includes a solo mode that it didn't have before. And we have a ton of people who have played our solo only games like Warp's Edge and Recklin Run. So if you're from our Solo Heroes community, then make sure to check out Junk Orbit. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. So solo mode, very excited about that. And that wasn't in there before, so that's great. And this is coming out in July, but again, you can pick this up at Gen Con. Another game on our list, this one is urgent. If you want to pick up this game, you need to be paying attention right now. You have less than 24 hours to back our Kickstarter for the Search for Lost Species. If you haven't heard about this game yet, please, please, please go check out the Kickstarter for this. Like I said, it is ending tomorrow afternoon. You don't have much time left. If you order it through the Kickstarter, you will get it much, much earlier than everybody else. We're hoping to get all these out to everybody in May, and the full release will be in August. So back it now, or pre-order it for pickup at Gen Con. That is also totally an option. So for this one, if you've ever played Search for Planet X, this is the same game, the same game mechanics for the most part, but with some added challenges. We now have a double-sided board. We have all sorts of extra things that make it more difficult, all the different species that you're looking for. And I love the eco-friendliness of the manufacturing of this game. We went for the most eco-friendly options at every level. There's no plastic at all. There's no cello wrap on the outside of the box. We have eco-friendly stickers that we're using. Even inside, instead of having cello wrap around the cards, we have this nice paper envelopes that they're in. Everything is just better for the planet. So check out this game. This is ending tomorrow, like I said. And also, we are going to be doing some tournaments for this and also for Search for Planet X at Gen Con. So if you love these games and you want to see how you stack up against everybody else, come and play in those events at Gen Con. And you'll want to sign up for the tickets for those right away as well. On
Very
March
cool.
21st.
All right.
Yeah.
So next up, we have a game from our friends over at Garfield Games, and that is Legacy of You. That's coming up, releasing shortly, so you can, again, pre-order that for Gen Con pickup. And if you check out our February stream from a month ago, we actually went into more detail on Legacy of You, so check that out. We just wanted to remind you that that's coming up, and you'll be able to pick up that awesome game from Shem Phillips from us at Gen Con, and also, in game stores all around the world. So We are his partner for English copies wherever English might be spoken or carried on game shelves. You will be able to find Legacy of You this summer.
And if you come to Gen Con and you are a fan of Garfield games, you might get an extra special surprise while you're there.
Oh, that's true. You very well may. I would go to Gen Con if you like Garfield games.
Yes, you should.
You should.
And if you don't know what we're talking about and you want to know what the surprise is, then you should check in with us at the June Renegade Con event that we will be hosting in June. So
that's right.
Yeah, come say hi then, and we'll give you more surprises. All right. Next up is Robo Rally. Again, we did talk about this a little bit last time. And if you haven't ever played Robo Rally, then you are really missing out, because this is a game that's been around for a long time that we have the absolute honor of getting to revitalize. So this is coming out. And this one, it's possible that we'll have it on retail shelves right at the beginning of August around Gen Con, but it's also possible that these will be the very, very first copies that anybody sees on the planet of this. Yeah. So make sure, if you want to pre-order this, if you want to be the first person to see the new version of it and play with it and join our Learn to Play events, sign up for those at Gen Con, stop by our booth and see this beautiful new version of the game. We're very excited to have this.
Yeah, for sure. So we did cover this a little bit, like you said, last month, so you can go back and look. But this is totally remastered. We worked with Richard Garfield, our internal team, Matt Hyra, and all of our play testers to really try to give you the best new version of Robo Rally possible. Took lots of community feedback, what people liked, what they didn't like. This is really amazing. All new art, graphic design has all been updated with new graphic design, and this is just the start for Robo Rally. We're not just going to put off one game. We have plans for more boards and more support and all sorts of stuff. So if you're a Robo Rally fan, stay tuned. There will be more. But
we have a lot going on for Gen Con at Gen Con for Robo Rally. So we'll have Learn to Play events, introduction to Robo Rally events, full games, and we are partnering with the Rogue judges on these ones. So if you want to find out what's going on for Robo Rally, look up their events. Rogue judges is who you want to be looking for. They're a fantastic group. They've been running Robo Rally events for a really long time at Gen Con. And then also there's another gentleman who has been running the Super Robo Rally events. And those ones are using 1 foot sized miniatures on a board that are actually digitally programmed. So you put in your moves. If you are lucky enough to get a spot in one of his events, you program in your moves, and then the robots will all move around on the board all on their own. Very fun. This is one of those things, it's a bucket item list for people who go to Gen Con. At least go watch. Even if you don't get into these events, go and see these, because they're really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, they're super cool. All right. So lots of exciting stuff.
And a Gen Con championship for this as well. That's a special thing we're doing in our room on Friday night. So if you want, there's 6 qualifying events run by the Rogue judges. If you qualify, then you'll be invited to our special Robo Rally event on Friday night at 8 p.m. hosted in our special room. So make sure to sign up for those. All right.
Nice.
Next up.
Yeah. Diplomacy. Let's talk diplomacy. Let's be diplomatic, Sarah. Let's let's try to come to some sort of an agreement here.
I don't know if that's possible. We'll try. So I would like diplomacy to be at Gen Con. What do you think there, Scott? Would you also like to help me make that happen?
I would love to see diplomacy at Gen Con. I think that's going to happen. And I think it's going to be in that shiny new box that's on the screen too.
All right. Make sure you get your orders in before Gen Con.
That's right.
Both on the board and on our website, because this won't last long. We don't want anybody messing up your plans. All right. So diplomacy pickup at Gen Con. And one of the things we wanted to share with you today is actually an image of the prototype of our actual wooden components that'll be in this game. I don't think we got a chance to share this with you during our last Con, so we wanted to show those off today.
Yeah.
Here's a mock-up of the wooden component designs, and then a second image where you can see them even a little bit better. So
Yep.
Katie, who is helping us out on the video end of stuff today, is posting those for us. And yeah, wood. I really like that idea. We have not seen wood in diplomacy in the past. Is that correct?
Yeah. That is correct. I mean, not in any modern version of it. So, the previous version actually didn't have actually any 3D representation for these pieces. They were flat cardboard, and we're not doing that. So these are 3D wooden pieces. You can also turn them on their side for more experienced players that like to do that when they're playing the game. So we took a lot of feedback from the community, and this is the direction that we've gone. We're super excited about it. These are really nice, high quality. People that have seen other meeples and really cool, crazy stuff that we've done in the past in wood will know. So this will be the new version of diplomacy moving forward. So we're really excited about it.
Definitely. And if you're going to be at Gen Con picking this up, I just want to give a huge shout out to Thomas Haver, who's in chat right now, who is just an awesome diplomacy diplomat for this game. And he has all sorts of cool plans for what's going on at Gen Con. So just to give you a little heads up, there will be 4 introduction to diplomacy events that accept players with any level of experience. And you can be taught the game from the former Diplomacy World Championship champion winner, Thomas Haver. So Thomas,
that's right.
People are going to come and learn how to play from you, and we're really excited about that. There's also 4 diplomacy tournament qualifying events, and the 7 best country winners for outstanding play of a power in the tournament will meet on the top board on Saturday afternoon for the title of U.S. Diplomacy Champion. So there's actually just a ton of international diplomacy events that are run by this incredible community. And so the culmination of a lot of those events is going to be happening at Gen Con. And a big reason for that is that this group has been running events for diplomacy at Gen Con since the very beginning of Gen Con. It says, just forever and ever and ever. So if you want to be
since
part
Gen
of that
Con
legacy,
1.
Yeah, since Gen Con 1. So if you want to be part of that legacy, come and play in some of those events. There's also, we have a sneak preview of a couple of the trophies that Thomas and his crew have been working on for the events that they're running. There's also just tons of giveaways that they're going to be doing during these tournaments and events: board games, stickers, patches, keychains, engraved pens, and challenge coins for players in any of these events. They just have lots of fun stuff. Oh, those are really cool. So there you go. Those are some of the trophies that are being made for this. 64 years. That's a really long time for a game to be going still. That's very cool.
That's right.
So yeah, there's a reason why this game is still being run at Gen Con. A big part of that is just that diplomacy is an awesome game, but the other part of that is that this community is really fantastic. So if you're looking for a group of people who are just really fun to be around, go and check out those diplomacy events. I know everybody talks about diplomacy as being the game that ends friendships, but they are proving that very wrong. So
very
that's
cool.
Super cool. I'm excited for their events. Awesome. One last game to talk about. Almost over.
And we weren't able to show anything at the last Renegade Con for this, were we? We just kind of
we weren't.
No. So let's talk about Acquire.
Ooh, I'm so excited. The only thing I had to show at our last Renegade event was my super old copy of Acquire. So now we have our new fancy version. This is the first sneak preview of the new game box for Acquire. And just to reiterate, it's so pretty. I love how that turned out.
It's awesome.
Yes. Just to reiterate some of the new internal features of the components, we've got a plastic board, building tiles, and a headquarters, updated board size. So this is a 9x12 space grid with space designations printed on the board just to make gameplay a little bit easier. And you have classic mode or tycoon mode, and you can play with or without tertiary stockholder merger bonus, just everything that players have been asking for. We really went deep into the community. Dan Bodanowski, who's in chat right now, as well as the senior game designer, game producer on this one, and he's just been checking out everything that people have been saying on forums and Facebook posts everywhere, looking for what people want, and then also just making it as beautiful and playable as possible.
Yeah.
So
like all the feedback, we know people wanted the 9x12 board back, plastic buildings, updating the, Sarah mentioned updating the font on the old board. The font was a little harder to read. Like, this is, again, similar to like what we did with Diplomacy and Robo Rally. We want to take all the community feedback, what people liked and what they didn't like, and give you the ultimate, updated versions of these games, because they are classics. They're some of the best games still out there. That's the amazing thing, is these are still some of the best board games, ever made. That's why they've been around for so many decades. So giving them an update, fresh look, updating their components and all of that was really fun to do. So this will premiere at Gen Con or slightly after. We'll probably have some early copies at Gen Con, but it'll be in stores a little bit after. But yeah, this is really, really shaping up. It's amazing.
Very cool. Yeah. And that artwork, as Dan mentioned in the chat, is by Eric Hibler. He's worked on some other games for us, and we just love working with him. He does amazingly beautiful stuff. So great illustration on that. And we will have a Gen Con championship for this. So if you want to come and compete for that title, make sure, again, that's a ticketed event. So you'll need to sign up through Gen Con. You'll have to have a badge to sign up for events. So you might as well pick up your badge now and pre-order using our special pre-order code for pickup at Gen Con.
Yeah.
All right. We got
that's a lot of stuff. Two hours worth of stuff for just a little update a month after our big Renegade Con. So yeah, that's a lot of good stuff. We've got a lot going on.
It's true. Yeah, I printed off our notes, and it was a lot of notes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're excited. We have a lot going on at Gen Con. It's going to be a big party. So we hope to see all of you there.
Okay, wait, hold on. I don't see a giveaway scheduled after the board game section. We need to do a giveaway for board game people too. So,
Jordan, come on.
Boo. Okay, so board game fans, our last giveaway, post in chat what you're excited for, everything from Junk Orbit to Search for Lost Species, Legacy of You, Robo Rally, Diplomacy, Acquire. Tell us what you want. Go. And we will pick a winner, and you will get a game. That's the way this works. You pick, you say it, we give it.
I'm glad I don't have to pick one. I don't know what one I would pick. I have a lot of personal nostalgia for Junk Orbit. I just really love that game. Search for Lost Species, I love the eco-friendliness of it, so I want to support that. Legacy of You is a solo mode only game, which solo games are just great. Robo Rally, I clearly remember playing that for the very first time way back in the day when I first opened up my own store, and just thinking, this pre-programming thing is such a cool idea. Like, nobody had done that before. It's just so neat. Diplomacy.
Robo Rally was the first board game that I carried in my store, for sure. Like back when I had my store, in the 90s. All right.
Yeah.
Lots of Diplomacy, Acquire, Robo Rally, lots of everything. All right, Rick Hatcher, Robo Rally. Awesome,
nice.
Rick. Congratulations.
Good pick. Very nice. So that's exciting. We'll have to get you an early copy. That one likely be flown all the way over and straight to your house, because that's gonna be early.
Yep.
All those little painted miniatures take a while to make.
Yep. Very
nice.
Cool. Well, all right, let's wrap it up, Sarah.
Yeah. So don't forget, if you are going to pre-order anything, you really, really need to use that code, because it's the only way that we know that you're picking it up at Gen Con. So if you get to your checkout and you see that you're paying shipping, something has gone wrong and you need to go back and put in that code, because that is our cue that we are going to hold it for you and we're going to save it and airship it, make sure it's there at Gen Con, and you'll pick it up. If you paid shipping, then it's going to go to your house. So make sure to double check that when you're pre-ordering. And if you do pre-order, also make sure to come by our booth on Wednesday night and pick up your order, because that way you go start playing right away. There's so much to do at Gen Con. You don't want to your time just standing in line waiting to come and get your stuff. Come and get it Wednesday night and start playing it right away. You don't need to wait in lines. And you also don't want to show up on May 21st trying to sign up for one of our really limited events without your Gen Con badge. So make sure to sign up for those today. That's open. Also, Gen Con hotels are always a struggle. Make sure you get your hotel right away. I believe hotels are open as well. Once you've got those things sorted out, you're good to go until May 21st, noon Eastern time. That's when you want to be ready, on the ball, to register for any events. And we're going to be posting all of the information for our events on our Gen Con page. So we'll have that all wrapped up in one place. You'll know everything we have going on. Go and click on that. I believe there's a link in chat for that one as well. And you can always sign up for our newsletter. That way you won't miss anything either. And so do those things right now.
Yeah. Awesome.
What else?
All right.
Anything
That's
else,
it.
Scott?
That's it.
There's one more thing.
Join us in June. Come back.
That's
Come
it.
Back. Yeah. yeah. Come back. So this isn't everything for the year. It's a lot of awesome stuff, but we will be back in June with a full Renegade Con, not just Sarah and I for a couple hours, where we'll have more panels and all that good stuff that you're used to in June. Pretty much, wrapping up the rest of the year and giving you a sneak preview of what's coming in the fall and into the early winter. So we hope to see you there. In the meantime, join us on Discord, join us in our Facebook groups, follow us on social media for all that stuff. Sign up for email lists that interest you, games that you're into. Make sure you sign up for those lists. We're always sending out good information there. And thanks for joining us. We couldn't do this without you. That's why we make games for you. And we're happy to see that you turned out and, you're excited. We're excited too. So we'll see you in June.
Yay. Thank you for being here. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.